Andrew, let's get right into it. I need to know your thoughts on the Russell Wilson deal. It went down at the deadline like it always does, you say.
Deadline spur action. It's my phrase. It's my Twitterism, and it means so much. This, as we talked about last week, was not your typical deadline. It was not training camp. It was not free agency. It was something that may be a trend, Ross, because the start of off-season workouts is really the start of this 2019 season. And Wilson and agent Mark Rodgers settled it that way instead of waiting for training camp and going through workouts with this over their head. Listen, when we talked last week, I did not think they'd have a deal for the same reason I did not think Aaron Rodgers would get a deal. And I'm wrong on both counts because the teams threw enough money at these guys that they didn't have to push hard on the guarantee stuff. It's the same situation. The Packers and the Seahawks have a precedent that doesn't guarantee past the no risk year one. Now, I know everyone's going to say, of course, they're not going to cut him year 2, year 3, year 4. But if that's the case, the team should just guarantee it. But they don't. And they hide behind this funding rule, and a franchise with an ownership, a state worth $20 billion was fighting Wilson on funding future guarantees, and they won that side. Of course, Wilson won the money. We're still waiting for details. We won't know probably for a week or so. But it looks like a massive deal with 60-plus in signing bonus, 157, 160 million, 30, depending on how you look at it, 31 to 35 guaranteed. You know, all the numbers are going to hit the marks. But from the Seahawks' perspective, it looks to me like they didn't go past year one guarantees, true guarantees. They didn't get into all this bells and whistles nonsense, which I think is a media creation, about percentage of cap and adjustable contracts. That was never going to happen, and it didn't.
Well, it does seem, though, Andrew, like the new game plan is you say publicly that you're totally fine with the franchise tag and going year to year, and then, something gets out there about wanting your salary to be tied to the salary cap and a percentage of it. And it just seems like teams are willing to really blow the previous high water marks out of the water to make sure that you don't change the precedent and don't change the paradigm in terms of player contracts.
Exactly. And I write this on Twitter all the time, that precedent is power. And this is what teams care about more because they've got Frank Clark, they've got Bobby Wagner. Now it's not even a discussion, right? So now you have those agents come in and say, well, they will never ask about a guarantee past year one. I said this to you before. When I did Brett Favre's contract or Aaron Rodgers' contract, that's the most important contract. That saves hundreds of discussions because you just say it's in Aaron's contract. And then it's the end of discussion because no player is going to try to get a better structure than that. And now the Seahawks have that. Yes, they're paying a ton of money. Well, what do you think? Russell Wilson's 8 months past Aaron Rodgers' deal. You can make comparisons with him, with Matt Ryan, with Cousins, Garoppolo. Of course he's going to get these numbers. But the Seahawks win on the structure.
I will say this, though, Andrew. So much was made of Kirk Cousins sort of changing the structure and getting a fully guaranteed deal, 3 years, $84 million. But to me, Andrew, that doesn't really seem all that great. I mean, Russell Wilson gets $65 million signing bonus, and he's making $7 million more per year.
Yeah, and the whole thing with Cousins that I tempered the enthusiasm was the length. Because, I heard that when fourth-year guarantee came up with the Vikings, even the most leveraged guy maybe in the history of contracts, that was a non-starter. They couldn't get a fourth year. So imagine if he had 4 years guaranteed at 28. then you're getting into, 112 or something. Then it's real money. Now, I'm not saying 84 million is not, but this is the issue. It's sort of breaking precedent. I've talked about 3-year guarantees for the Ryans of the world as part of longer contracts. So, yeah, I mean, listen, Russell Wilson could have been the one, right? With 4-year full guarantee, 5-year full guarantee, 6-year full guarantee. But to do that, he would have had to play the Cousins game of maybe 1 year of tag or maybe 2 years of tag. But, that's gone.
Well, and not only that, Andrew, but if you're going to play that game and you're going to make that the priority, fully guaranteed, you're almost necessarily leaving money on the table because you're prioritizing that in the contract as opposed to dollars per year.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, listen, the natural question is, who is that white whale out there that's going to push the envelope on the guarantees? Now it's not Aaron Rodgers, and now it's not Russell Wilson. So who is it? Is it Pat Mahomes? No, I say no, because Pat Mahomes is going to be negotiating where he's scheduled to make like $2 million. So once they throw $150 million at him, he's not going to be worried about future guarantees at that point. So I don't know who that person is.
The other big news, Andrew, is tonight they will release the schedule. Always a big night. I think I ask you this every year, but I want to hear from you what it was like when the schedule was released when you were with the Packers. What's the first thing you look for, and did you have a chance to complain before it's released? How does that all work?
Yeah, that was the role of Bob Harlan, now Mark Murphy. They sort of owners get a sneak peek. So if it's coming out tonight, owners probably saw this Monday, maybe Sunday. So I think, from Green Bay's standpoint, I guess the first thing we looked at was December games. How many home? If you got 3 home games in December, that's really an advantage. Again, the weather is such a factor playing in Green Bay. So we looked at that. The Monday nights, the Thursday nights, so the coaches could sort of get their scheduling together, how we're going to look at those weeks. Coaches always seem to be looking at quarters of the season. So first 4, second 4, third 4, fourth 4, how do they look? And, as you just said, everybody's going to complain. But to me, I just don't get the complaints. Because you're complaining about Thursday night games, then you got 10 days between the next game. If you're complaining about, I guess my point is they're all playing the same amount of games in the same amount of time. So we'll see. I don't think I get less excited about this schedule thing. To me, I'm going to say this about the draft too. It's just amazing the power of the NFL.